Hi Storm, Derek here. I am in Brooklyn in New York City at the 20-sided store. And I'm here with Adi from Gather Round Games. Nice to have you here.
Thanks for meeting up with me.
No problem. This is great fun. This is my second trip out to Brooklyn, and I've had a dog, and I've had a coffee, and a piece of pie, and I think I've had the whole experience. Yeah, that's right. So, please, you've got a game coming out, and I really liked the look of this, and I thought we should tell the Dice Stormers about it. So it's called Somebody Has Died.
Someone has died.
Someone has died.
Yes. And you get to So, the way it works, it is an improvised will arbitration.
Right.
One person plays a lawyer, a keeper of the estate. They get to set up who died, how they died, and what they left behind.
So they would be like a dungeon master or a game master. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
so there's
very much a hybrid role where you get to lead everyone else through the experience, and then at the end of the game, the estate keeper gets to make a decision, a judgment call, the same way that like a Cards Against Humanity judge would.
Yep.
So it's kind of like a duel.
Yep. Okay. So so that's a fairly involved role.
Yeah.
Does it require somebody who's sort of played the game and know about it beforehand to adjudicate that?
I don't think so.
No?
Because it's also, I mean, all of our rules are very sort of open to interpretation. So
Right.
what we'd like is people can kind of just jump in and put their own spins on the game as well.
Yeah. All right, so one person is the adjudicator, and
Yes.
everybody else is presumably vying for the will.
Exactly. So everyone starts with a base hand of 4 cards, and from those cards you craft your character, and you maintain that character over the course of 4 rounds as you're trying to convince the estate keeper to give fortune to you.
Right. Okay. Well, that sounds fantastic. I mean, it's just, and
It's all in silly fun.
yes, but I mean, it's a fairly kind of a somber way to start a game, right? Someone has died.
Yes, and tradition dictates that the estate keeper should start every game by saying, "We're gathered here today
Yes.
because someone has died." Every time.
So, I mean, one of the reasons I love this is you're kind of dealing with death in a fairly sort of light-hearted manner. But the reality of it is 100% of Australians and Americans and everybody is going to die at some point. And,
Sure, jumping right in.
and so we might as well kind of deal with it and talk about it and all that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
So that's, and so where did the idea germinate from? How did it come about?
So the game was created in a class at Wesleyan University, and the assignment was pitched to create a social game.
Yep.
And we were kind of given Werewolf and Mafia as examples, and in those games people are dying every round. And so we decided to start with a dead person, and the idea of an arbitration kind of followed very shortly after.
Yeah, it's kind of turning it on its head, isn't it? You start with a dead character.
In a small way, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So and it was created in a classroom.
Yep.
So there you go. Staying's cool, kids. Staying's cool. Okay, so, and then you said that the game evolved and from an initial standpoint, and it's gone through a number of iterations before you were finally ready to Kickstarter?
Yeah. When we first started the game, it was really, like, unnecessarily complicated.
Okay.
And also aside from the fact that it started on, like, little index cards that
Sure.
we presented to our class. But, we had... So the game currently runs in 4 rounds. First, introduction, you state who you are, initial claim. Second, question round, the estate keeper gets to ask 1 question of everyone at the table. Third round is, and a new backstory card is drawn. The third round is a recess round. Everyone breaks for lunch, and so you don't get any more backstory cards. You get to ask 1 question of 1 other person at the table.
Okay.
And the 4th round is final statements. You draw another backstory card and try to convince the estate keeper for the last time before the decision is made.
Right.
And that is, like, we think very straightforward. It flows really well. The way we had it before, it was like, you have 1 round of like a minute time talking, and there's like a mini round in between, and another minute, and like all the rounds were the same but different, and like not designated as clearly. And at some point, we just decided we needed to cut the game in half, just like slash it. And I was like, no, I can't do it.
It's hard to make those decisions, isn't it? Yeah.
But like in retrospect, it was like so dumb before.
Right.
It was such an awful game before.
Okay. So there's a lot of element of silliness to it. You know, there's you know, some of the what are they called? The willies or the
I like the willies.
the willies on the willows. The players.
The potential inheritors.
The potential inheritors. They can be robots, and you can be cats and dogs, presumably, or things
There
like
is
that.
a talking dog.
Okay.
There is a robot with feelings.
Yep.
There's a character who's a fan favorite called Spiderface, who's just a creature with spiders on his face, like a humanoid creature. What else do we have? And then crazy professions. We have one card that I personally really like. That your identity is that you're extraordinarily attractive.
Right.
Yeah, so it is very silly. I think that's the only way we could pull something like this off, because if we took it very seriously, it would be like a really intense, like, Norwegian role play that I'm like not ready for.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay, so you the Kickstarter is on right now. There's probably about, as of this recording, about 15 days left to go, right?
Something like that.
And you've smashed through all your barriers, so
Yeah.
whatever people pledge now, they're going to get. It's going to ship. And I want some hot off the press news. The not suitable for work pack has been triggered.
Yes.
Right. So tell me what might be in that, as much as we can for our G-rated audience.
Oh, G-rated.
Well,
G plus.
Yes.
So we are trying to be clever about it.
Okay.
We don't want them all to be just like gross sexual acts.
Sure.
I'm trying to think of our more clever ones that we can tease. We have a Georgia O'Keeffe painting plant.
okay.
Which is often bionic in nature.
Right.
The word bionic.
Yeah, I have to look that one up.
Yeah, I'll let people look it up. Oh, and I mean, no, this is a dumb joke. At least, or a tease now. Or like, we're gonna have like something like physically dirty rather than like
Could you
dirty, like a pile of dirt. Like we really just want to have a card that's like a pile of dirt, like a handful of earthworms.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
and people are gonna be like really disappointed. Like, oh man, like that's it.
But I mean, could you have had a inappropriate sexual relationship with the dead person? Is that
Or
something?
with the dead person, or with like the person sitting next to you.
with the person
or,
at the table.
Yeah, and then like
Or with
there's also
the lawyer?
Ooh. Well, so we have cards that force you to interact with the people sitting to either side of you, and that incorporates the estate keeper. So
Yeah, right.
That
Yeah, okay.
can
So they
happen.
can bring him into
yeah,
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have one night stands. We recently came up with an idea. You just barfed, or you had barfed on the person sitting next to you at a bar mitzvah or something. So yeah, we're keeping it very classy.
Okay, cool. So that's fantastic. Well, congratulations and best of luck with the rest of the Kickstarter.
Thank you.
We love this here at Dice Stormers, and we hope that you guys can back it too. It'd be great. And
It's a great thing for, I mean, if you watch Dice Stormers and watch all the role-playing games that they play and kind of want like a baby entry step. This
Yeah.
is like kind of a social party game
Yeah.
role-playing hybrid.
you don't need to know any rules or anything like that.
You
can
do
just
need
go-
rules.
Well, there's a few rules, but they can be sort of explained
Right, but
throughout the course of
also,
the game.
like, I personally, as a gamer as well, I find role-playing games very intimidating.
Yeah.
Because you have the character sheets, you're committing to a weekly campaign, you're
Yeah.
doing intense improv, like, with nothing to go off of. Whereas our cards are really, really specific.
Yep.
And kind of let people, they're specific and weird, and the situation is very confined.
Yeah.
So we find that people who aren't very experienced at improv or have never done role playing before are able to jump into it.
Yeah, it's
pretty
time boxed
easily.
and it's also sort of
The context is
context is boxed. Yeah, you're in a room and you've just got to kind of walk away with or without the money at the end of
Right.
it.
Yes.
Nice.
So it's a good entry point
Yeah.
for improv, for role playing, for storytelling in general.
Yeah.
Not to get too lofty.
No, it is. You're exactly right. And you know, I find that maybe sometimes the simpler the rules and the simpler the setting, the more profound you can have the role playing
Sure,
experience.
you can go as deep as you want, but
Yeah.
it gives beginners the entry point as well.
Yeah. Nice. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say about the game? Is there anything else that we haven't covered?
The base game on Kickstarter is starts at $22.
Right.
I guess, is most of your audience Australian?
No, it's about 50 to 60% American. So
Oh, great.
yeah, you're talking about
50 to 60% American. Shipping is included.
I'm the stat guy. Shipping is included. Okay, good.
Yeah, $22 is shipping included. It'll be an additional $4 to $10 depending on where in the world you are.
Yeah.
But this is the cheapest it'll ever be.
Yeah, right.
Because people like it, so we're going to sell it for more.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you. This is Adi? Adi from
Gather Round
Gather
Games.
I'll put all the links to the Kickstarter and the website and the Facebook and the Twitter, and you can harass them on social media if you like.
Oh, please do.
And this is me, Derek from Brooklyn, signing off.
From the Eric's Bebis
Bye.
Bye.